Welcome back everyone. Busy time of the year in the workshop at the moment, but I managed to get a compilation together for you. Got some interesting ones this week. We're looking at this headset on this Specialized. I'll get you in a bit closer. It looks pretty grim, this one. That's just from the outside. I've not looked inside yet, so I mean, it doesn't feel too bad. It does feel a little bit notchy, but clearly it needs some work. And there's the lower cup as well. Doesn't look much better. Let's have a look, take it out, see what we've got. When you're looking at headsets, I find it much easier if you tilt the bike downwards, if possible, if you've got a stand, obviously. Tilt it down like this, and then you can work on this without fear of the fork falling out, etc. It just makes life a lot easier like this. This is the bottom bracket out of the same bike. Absolutely destroyed as well, so I'm not holding out much hope for this. Take the stem off. Moment of truth. Alright, that's the easy bit. Now we've got to get in here. I'm just going to clean this up before I try and remove it. Alright, I'm going to use my star nut tool here, just to screw that into the star nut. And then I can hit this with a metal hammer. Get a bit more force on it. Not even all the way in, is it? That change of tone was that actual star nut setting all the way in the fork. You could see it wasn't all the way in. This tool basically sets it to the correct depth anyway. But it has moved this as well, so we're good. Yeah, I'll get that out now. I don't expect everyone to have one of these, but obviously a workshop needs one. So you can see it's actually loose bearings in here, not cartridges. And they actually look in reasonable condition. I will change them obviously, but I was expecting to see a lot worse. But we'll get some new ones in. We could just change the whole headset, because it's only a semi-integrated headset here. We'll have a look what these races look like. There's the crown race, obviously quite a bit of crud on there. This is a seal. Done a great job, hasn't it? Take that out. Jeez. Yeah, seen better days that, wouldn't it? Right, clean all this up. Inspect the races. Like I say, it might be easier just to put a new headset in, really, to be honest, but we'll have a look. Right, so that's all sitting on the table now. Now we can have a look at this a bit closer. You will always see a silver line where the balls actually run. You're looking for it to be nice and smooth silver line, which this one is. If you see big pits and craters in there, then yeah, you probably need a new headset, but this actually looks okay with some new balls. If you look at this race here though, on that silver line, you'll see some pitting. So it's not going to be the smoothest headset. I think we'll put a new one in. Just take all this out and start again. It's seen better days. Get it out, you need one of these. It's basically just a sort of big spring really. Put it in here. Pull it up and you'll hear it click in behind the cup. Like that. And you just hit it on the end again with a hammer. Don't worry, I have clean the cloths. They go through stages of being clean, semi-clean, ruined. That's coming out now. Pull it out top, do the same on the top cup. It's out. A bit of grease in there just to aid installation more than anything. So this one is actually cartridge bearing, so it's a big upgrade anyway, so it's definitely worth doing this one. That'll go in there, that'll go in there. Then you just press it in. You can use a more basic press than this. I know people use blocks of wood and all sorts of sketchy stuff, but as long as you're careful, I guess. That's in. Just drop this top bearing and get it out of the way. So we're going to get this crown race off the fork. We'll not be using this seal. This needs to come off here now. This can be a bit interesting. We'll get it off there. Let's give me a good fit this one is. I think what I'll do is I'll just take this brake off the fork just to make life a bit easier to show you. Take the caliper off. Yes, I've got to align it, but it takes 2 seconds on these. Again, you can see all this pitting around here. That's not a smooth track. That's not the surface of the moon, that is. That's never going to feel good, even with new bearings, so that's why we're changing it out. So on this crown race, there should be a gap between the fork itself and the crown race itself. I mean, you can barely see anything there, but you need a tool that will basically slide underneath there and pull this off. So these tapered edges here will normally slide underneath that. And I need to knock it off. I think this might be a challenge. Open the tool up until it will basically sit there, and then tighten these down until hopefully it bites underneath it. Flip it over and knock it, and hopefully it'll start to draw that off. Yeah, there's nothing there really. No gap at all. This could be a challenge. To be fair, this tool is about worn out. I do need a new one. Maybe it's time to bite the bullet and get the park. Oh, expensive. Right, so this one's been an awkward one, as per usual. So clamped it in the vise now. Like I say, you can really see this pit in here. It does need to come off, but you need a space between here and here to get the tool in there, which I was just trying to show you, but you couldn't get it in there. Any guys out there with a fancy part tool on, can you let me know if that would actually go in there? Because it's a massive investment, and if it's no better than what I'm already using, there's literally no gap there. I can't even get a piece of paper in there. So if that's any better, please let me know and I'll buy one. But I don't think it's going to be an improvement, to be honest. So we need to get a bit of a plan B going. So I've added some penetrating fluid down here because it's going to be seized as well as absolutely solid and no access. The idea normally is you put this blade down here and just tap this in just to widen it up, and then get another blade in behind it, and it eventually peels off a tiny bit of a gap. But you can see I've already tried this a little bit. All you end up doing now is breaking pieces of blade off here like this behind there. So even that's not working on this one. A bit of a sacrificial ruined chisel here that I've sharpened up just to see it. Just the tiniest little gap, and then you're away to the races. I'm not doing any woodwork on this, don't worry. I'm not Blacktail Studio. A lot of manufacturers, this slot here, they'll extend this out so you can actually get something underneath it, but on this Suntour one, they haven't done that, which is nice. There's literally no gap. I can't even get a piece of paper in there. I'm not exaggerating. This is, yeah, so good in. I might have to grind this off in a minute. Even these, there's no room at all for anything. This is where a 5-minute headset job ends up as an hour without an internal cable in sight. You don't see many crown races like this nowadays, thankfully. You do on cheaper bikes like this, but most of them maybe the split race, or it's a carbon fork where the crown race is actually integrated into the moulding, so you don't even use these. But on these, they're a bit of a pain. Bonkers. This is a piece of paper. Just about get that in there. Got another one of these made by Bursman. I'm going to give this a try. I'm not getting anywhere here, I'll be honest. Like I say, any shops that have got their part tool one, please let me know if this would help me in this situation, and I'm quite happy to go and buy it. I love buying tools, you know that. Yeah. Fortunately, these are few and far between nowadays, like I say, so it's a hell of an investment for something that might not even help. So I'll be very interested in people's feedback. Tony. Bye. Tony, the politest customer in the world, honestly. I'm through it all like that. Some old guys, yeah, very nice bloke. Anyway, back to this. This video is going to be like probably a minute of me struggling with this. It's probably been 45 minutes already actually in real life. Not moved one iota. Fantastic. I've had enough of this. I'm going shopping. Right, I'm not going to lie, this is getting quite frustrating now. This is probably the worst one I've ever seen in 30 odd years. There's literally no gap there. I've just been doing some Googling, even the part tool one by the sounds of it, and the Junior version, I'm going to struggle with something so tight as this. So, I've got a plan B. I'm going to use a grinder to cut just very, very carefully under here. So this tool here has got something to actually bite under. And hopefully pull it off, because this is just getting nowhere like this. Normally these blades will get it off straight away. I've done it many, many times before, but it's just doing nothing. All right, let's cut some slots. There's one. I mean, you would say get some heat on there, but this is steel and this is steel, so it's really not going to do a great deal. They're both going to expand the same amount. Otherwise, heat is always the answer, as we know. The heat of the grinder may just help a little bit anyway. Right, so I've got one slot. It's going to make a matching one on here. I don't want to go too far. I'm going to cut the fork in half. So hopefully that's got something to bite into now. Well, it definitely does. And hopefully this helps. Never tried this before. I'll patent it if it works, don't worry. Even if it starts moving a bit, I can get the tool behind where it's supposed to be then. I just need 0.5 millimetre. Wish me luck. I can see daylight. Yes. Oh my god, what a ridiculous design. So now, there's a gap. And that's what that's all about. You just got to get that tiny little gap, and then the tool will drop in behind where it's supposed to be and pull it normally. Alright, this is what should have happened about an hour ago. Hallelujah. So in case you're wondering what tools you need to get a crown race off, some of these, all of these, maybe some extra. Let's get a new one on. And breathe. So this is the new one. Obviously get some grease on here. We need another special tool to get this on, but this is much easier to get on than get off. Alright, so you drop that on. You need a crown race setter. This is a part tool one. I do have this one. Basically slides over there and you hit it with the hammer again. Just tap that on until it stops. You'll hear the tone change. Like that. We know that's on. That's it. Well, it feels like an eternity later. I can go back to the bike now. Jesus. The fork came out relatively unscathed actually. A couple of scratches on this top piece where you won't actually see it, but I think you find it's kind of inevitable. Drop that in. Bearing is already fitted. Bearing's already fitted. So this can go in there with some grease. There's only a plastic compression ring on this one. Like that. Then we have that top cap. Like that, that'll sort itself out when you actually, there you go. The stack height on this headset is slightly different, so we might need a different spacer. We don't need this star nut. There's already one in the fork, obviously. Right, drop some spacers on here. There is a bit of corrosion on this fork, but it is pretty much solid steel, so I'm not massively concerned. It's not a ring of death situation. It looks almost right. Put one on the top just to give that some space. We're in. And you just put it back together as per normal, just tightening this up. Well, there's no play there, and obviously feels super smooth. It's brand new. Get these torqued up. I will put the wheel in and align it, but it looks pretty good there. 2-minute job changing the headset. Let's give it a quick wipe down. Epic neck. Right. I've serviced the rest of the bike off camera. I've done the bottom bracket, etc. And we'll move on to something else, hopefully slightly less challenging, but we got there in the end, guys. Just a quick pause to say a massive thanks to Sport and Leisure for sponsoring today's video. So there's nothing worse, right, when you're in the middle of a job, only for everything to come to a grinding halt because the part you ordered said it was in stock. It wasn't in stock, was it? It wasn't even in the same country. That's exactly why I use Sport and Leisure. So they're based right here in the UK. Their stock levels are 100% live. And if it says it's on the shelf, it really is on the shelf, ready to go. Get your order in before 3 PM and it's dispatched the very same day with free delivery on all UK orders. Amazing. Plus next day delivery is only £2.50, which is just brilliant when you just need to crack on with the job. So they've also updated the channel discount for you. If you head over to sportandleisure.com/BCR or scan this QR code on the screen right now, it'll generate a 10% discount at checkout off your first order. If you're buying parts anyway, it's a no-brainer. Save everybody cash. The link's in the description below, and thanks again to Sport and Leisure for continuing to support the channel. Right, let's see what's up next. Next up, we've got a broken gear cable in this Campagnolo Chorus lever. It's very broken. Just here, let me show you. So there is the cable. Well, I'm hoping that it's completely snapped and I can just pull one end out. I think it is, yeah, it might be okay. Right, I'll pull it out from the back hopefully, and then try and get the rest of it out from the lever. Get a new one fitted. So it's pretty much internally routed all the way down here. I'm going to take this little cover off here, see if I can see any full housing. I'm hoping it's a full housing from lever to derailleur. It feels like it, otherwise it's going to be a big job. All right, let's take this out and see what we've got. On Shimano levers, on a service, I normally just change the cable, the right hand shifter at least as default, but on Campag I don't. Maybe I should. Right, I can see in there now. It looks like I can see a foam housing down here, which I'm hoping is a full housing for the gear cable. I can't see exactly. It should be okay. Worst case scenario, I've got to pull the headset on the bottom bracket. See, this here is it. That feels like a full housing to me anyway, so cut this off. I won't be needing that anymore, that's for sure. And hopefully I can just pull this through. It will be difficult because the frayed part is going to create a lot of friction, but we can see it's not attached, so once it gets going, it should just come straight out. I mean, I could try and push this up and see if I can get it out the lever. I'll try that first, it might be a bit better, but I don't think it will go. Let's see if I can pull it with pliers this way then. Oh, here we go. Happy days. Good. That's half of it out, and I'm going to get the other bit out that should be hopefully still in the lever and nice and easy to get out. So Campag has a hole here, and it should just drop out of there. I'll tip the bike upside down, it'll be easier. At least this hood out of the way a bit more. Right, there she is there. There you go. And that's the other half. I'm pretty confident that's both halves. There's nothing left in there. I will blow it through with an airline, but that looks like it. Just check this lever operation while it's like this. All looks good. The cable goes through here now, it's a nice straight run, there's nothing blocking it, so that ends all good. But I just had a quick look at the back and I'll show you something. This derailleur has obviously got no cable attached at the moment, so it should automatically pull itself down to this smallest sprocket. However, it's not. I can push it up, let that go, and the spring tension should pull that right down. It's only going down to here, and I can't actually pull it over. I'm pulling this really quite hard now, and that should be sitting down here, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. So I'll have a quick look at these. So this one here is high limit, and it's wedge solid. Yeah, someone's adjusted that. Like really adjusted it. It's maxed out basically. I'm going to unscrew this several turns. Potentially what he's done, he's obviously had a problem with the cable, and he has actually adjusted these to give himself an easier gear. I'll give him that. That is actually a viable option, thinking about it. That's probably what he has done. Fair enough. You could have told me though. Thinking about it, that's exactly what he's done. It's a proper roadside hack really to get you an easier gear. If your cable snaps, so you can adjust these in here to pull the derailleur up to an easy gear for you and to get home. So yeah, fair play to him. That's what he's done, but he didn't tell me he'd done that. Right, okay, so that's good. Need a cable now. So Campag gear cable is around about 3.95, and my replacement cable is pretty much exactly the same. Right, this will go in. Right, moment of truth. Will it go through the frame? Like I say, that will just drop straight through the lever now. I can find the hole, that's in there. And then, wish me luck, I'm going in. So it's a stainless steel die drawn, so I don't lubricate these. Just keep pushing, and hopefully this comes out the back end. Yes, never doubted it for a second. Right, with that through, we can connect back to the derailleur. Make sure you're in the right position on the lever. Just pull that, you can see my hand move there, that's the gear lever pulling me through. And release that back down. Connect it up. We've only got one barrel adjuster on this system, so give yourself some adjustment either way. Turn it in a few turns. I'm going to hook that under there, nip that up. I'm going to trim this off, otherwise it's going to end up in the spokes. End cap on there. We'll go for a shift on the big chain ring. Alright. It doesn't want to stay up there, it needs a bit more on that limit screw. You got another half a turn. It's up and we'll go down. Too much cable tension there because it won't go down, so just drop that in a little bit more and repeat that shift. Up, back down, there you go. When it works so well, you can't deny Campag. It does shift very, very nicely. Okay, happy days. Drop this cover back in there. Didn't need it in the end, but it's always useful if you got something like this. I think this is probably for something to do with DIT, I'm guessing they put this in for. Doesn't need to be tight, guys. It's not holding the bike together. Just nip it up. That's it, done. Right, what's next? Next up, puncture. Not any old puncture on this one though, slightly more challenging this one. Let's have a look. This is a specialised comber. Customers give me the instructions just in case. Anyway, this is probably the heaviest bike I've had in the workshop, I think. My God. If I didn't have this electric stand, I don't think I could physically lift this onto a normal stand. It's absolutely monstrous. Nice bike, but wow, it's heavy. Let's see if I can overload my motor. Just going up. This one, a belt drive. So there's no chain on this one, nylon belt. I see quite a few of these nowadays. Quite a big fan of them actually, to be honest. For someone who wants no maintenance, this is a very good step in the right direction. So getting this wheel out, it's not quite as straightforward as most. It's not too bad though. They do two different versions of this apparently. They do a manual and an automatic one. This is the manual one. So I looked at it, according to instructions, I did actually look at them, I'm not going to tell a lie. You undo that clip there, and then you need to get this gear cable out, which is here. Unhook that from its stop, and that should just come out of here without too much difficulty. like that. Just unhooks basically. Unhook the bottom piece as well. All slotted, so it's quite easy. Get them out of the way, and then you can just take the wheel out. So not too bad. 15mm. It's quite funny when this dropped off. The husband and wife, they were actually arguing with each other who called the puncture. I was like, we don't have a domestic. I mean, technically, you could probably have a go at fixing this without taking it off the bike, but you know, sooner or later, you're going to have to take the wheel off, so now's as good a time as any to learn. Not that difficult, really. That's literally it. So it's not all the way off, and then that, and then your belt just comes straight off, so pretty easy. Then it's the wheel out. Let's have a look what's caused a puncture, get this fixed. Might be a puncture repair, might be a new tube. Depends what I feel like. If I get the tube out and it's had 2 or 3 repairs, I normally put a new one in. If it's a snake bite where there's 2 holes, I'll put a new one in. If it's just a little thorn, I'll just repair it. No point just wasting resources and more landfillers. Just get it repaired if you can. Not difficult. Rake the bead off the tyre. Quite a good fit this one is. Push it in. Jeez, that's tight. Yeah, it's a very heavy bike this is, but I do see quite a few of these around. They're quite nice. They do ride nice. But, well, they're heavy. Must have a big battery in it, I'm guessing. Let's tube out. The most important thing, obviously, when you're doing a puncture, get out whatever's in the tyre. And there you are. Big thorn. That one there, I think that'll do it. And then keep checking. Don't just presume that's the one that's done it. Not unusual to find 2 or 3. Put some air in it, find out where it's coming out, and mark it up. If you just run it across your face, you'll find it quite easy. There it is there. Let's actually put 3 holes in it. 1, 2, 3 there. So it's going to get a new tube. We're not going to patch that. See there? There's at least 3 holes where it's gone over that thorn, where they've moved it while it's been flat. So I'm going to put a new tube in this one. I'm going to fit a slime tube in here to prevent any more domestics. He's actually pretty good, to be honest. They do add a bit of weight to the bike. It's no any concern really, but they do actually do a pretty good job of little thorns like that. And get this tube back in. And another 50 grams on this inner tube ain't going to make any difference on the rest of it. Jesus. Right, that's on. Get some air in. You get a funky little green cap here that kind of tells everybody you got fancy inner tubes fitted. Put that on. Oh, God. This bit here's got a slot. Kind of obvious where that goes. You can't really get that in the wrong place. It physically won't let you put it in the wrong place. Hook your belt on. Jeez, wait a ton. Get that back on. Go for it. It will only go one way. Like that. And tighten these up. Pronto. Make sure you get your spanner in your pocket. Get a bit of tension on that one and get to the other side. That's in. Whew. I like this extra long spanner for wheel nuts, 15mm. Just give it a little bit more torque. Alright, that's good. This one was on the bottom. Hook it into its cable guide on this side. That's easy. And again, this one goes into a cable guide there, around the track, and it'll hook into there. Hooks in there. And then this is basically just a locking lever for that. That goes in there, and then you just literally lock that up there. Just give it a pedal, go through a gear. And it's all working nicely. Is that undone? Well, that's an easy. Give my poor stand a rest. I bought myself a part scale. I was going to weigh it for you, but there's no way I can even physically pick it up. It's just crazy. There's nothing to hold it onto anyway, because there's no top tube, but well, best part of 30 kilos, I would estimate. Right, what we got next? Last up, we got another Specialized. Must be a Specialized day today. You might have seen a post on the community about this one. It's in for a service, but wow, absolutely disgusting. You know me, I don't mind a bit of road grime, but this is just absolutely taking the biscuit, really. It's disgusting. I literally can't see any limit screws, so before I even do the service, all I've done is, at the moment, is take the wheels out, take the bottom bracket out, pull the fork. This is going to get a good jet wash now. Give it a good polish, and then I'll do the service. Believe it or not, everything actually works. The only thing the bike needs is a new brake cable for this caliper here. That's seized pretty much. Or the calipers, or a bit of both. But apart from that, actually everything works, but wow. This is underneath as well. Not getting any better, is it? Alright, let me give it a jet wash, give it a wipe down, And then I'll put it back together. Half an hour later, it looks a lot better. To be fair, it looks in extremely good condition. Believe it or not, this bike is 2009, so 16 years old. And this paint has come up as good as new. So that's a massive testament to Specialized paint quality. That's really pretty impressive. There's barely a mark on it. I mean, some will argue that road grime will help protect it over the years, and potentially that's done a good job on that, but you've got to draw a line somewhere, guys. If I can't physically see the component when it comes in for a service, there's too much. Bit of road grime, I could take that, but wow, that was pretty bad. But yeah, this has come up literally immaculate. And again, shout out to Shimano, look at that. That's in immaculate condition, really. No corrosion on it, tiny bit of wear down here. How much use this bike's had, who knows, but yeah, it's come up beautiful. John, if you're watching, did a good job when you put it together, mate. 2010 actually is sold, made in 2009, sold in 2010. But yeah, done a good job there. 6 to 8 weeks service, I think it's a little bit overdue, don't you? If you're watching, John, let us know. All back together now. New chain on there, obviously. New gear cables. Actually, the original cassette just cleaned up really well. Like I say, new gear cable there. Gear's working lovely. Ended up with a new caliper actually because it was sticking in these pivots. I did strip it down, but it just wasn't playing ball, so that's been changed. And new brake cable on the back as well, with a bit of housing. And yeah, cleaned up very nicely in the end. Good as new. Another 16 years left in this. So I hope you enjoyed that. Bit of variety there. A few Specialized. Don't know where they all come from. I don't mind a bit of road grime, but this was, yeah, it's probably pushing your luck really, to be fair. But it's just cleaned up lovely and good as new now. Everything working perfectly. So I will be doing a fair few more of these compilations at this time of the year because the workshop is so busy, it's hard to do anything else, I'll be honest with you. So you may see these for the next couple of months every Wednesday. Every Saturday I will try and get you out a full service video though. I've got at least 3 already filmed and uploaded for you. So I'll try my best, but it's not easy, guys. It's a lot of work. So if you did enjoy the content, not already done so, subscribe button down there, like, share, hype, all that great stuff. So thank you very much for watching and enjoy the rest of your day or evening, depending where you are. I'll see you again soon.